Okay, we're back and we're still with our ideal client in mind. This time we are going to put ourselves in the shoes of your ideal client once they are working with you. What results are they getting? Where are they seeing you that they say, oh my gosh, that is exactly what I need. That is exactly where I want to be. She's speaking to me, whatever it is that you are in a position that you're ready to sell. And what is the transformation they're going to get? So, a few steps to take here. So, number one, it is important that you really start thinking about what options, what other things have they tried before working with you. So, for example, if I'm looking for a corporation that needs sales training, I could possibly be looking at corporations that I know have had sales training in the past, had a quick turnover, and now they have new people on their team and they're going to need another sales training. I could be looking at, I'm in a conversation, someone talks about someone who had hosted a sales training, the results weren't great. Okay, ding, ding. That means that I should take note of that because even though I don't know them yet, I haven't introduced myself to them yet. And I know that they're a corporation that I would go after. And as far as prospecting, I know that I need to take note, I need to follow up, and I need to do some research so then I can understand who they've used in the past, possibly understand what that training looks like if I can find that information, and do my research on the front end prior to going into a sales call or trying to get an appointment with that corporation. So, what has their industry like knowledge? So, what do they know about what your offer, your product does? Do they know about your product? Do they know about your offer? Your social media management, for example, of course, people know what social media management is, but do they really know what goes into that? Or are you going to have to educate them on exactly what you do and how you do it if they are interested? So when you start talking about these kind of things, I want you to always remember you are not selling the process. You're not really selling what goes into it. You're selling the transformation and the results that they get based on what you're going to be doing for them. They're probably looking for something that is going to put them as an expert and authority in their space through their social media platforms, if it's social media. And so, if that is their desired outcome, how are you going to do that? What have you done in the past? Storytell in these instances because experience, storytelling, giving specific examples helps them put themselves in that exact spot. Okay, next up, if they work with you, what could potentially what would they potentially get from working with you? So what would their desired outcome be? And then how would you meet and exceed those expectations so that you are prepared to have a dialogue with this person and it's consistent across the board? You know exactly what you're saying and you can deliver that with confidence. It is key that you understand exactly what you're offering, your results that you're getting, and if they are potentially going to be the client that you want to work with. Remember, as a service and I mean, as a service based industry that we're in, we need to make sure that we want to work with them just as much as they want to work with us. And if you're going after your ideal client and you get super specific on this, you will or you should be talking to and having sales conversations with the people that you potentially have in mind to work with. That doesn't mean down the road you don't pivot because maybe that's not exactly where you wanted to be either. But for right now, when you have that ideal client in mind, you want to make sure that when you're talking to them and you're going through the discovery calls, you're having sales calls, you're having conversations at networking events, that they are someone that you too want to work with. I know a lot of clients that I've had in the past, I never thought I would work with based on a discovery call. However, they have turned out to be some of my best clients. So I'm not saying that the first impressions always matter, but what I am saying is just because you get a bad feeling at first, or maybe you feel great and they're not feeling it, it's okay. It doesn't mean it needs to go away forever. It just means you need to understand more of what it is that's holding you back or holding them back. Okay, I'm sorry. Next, If your client gets the results, gets to the desired outcome that they want, are they going to be able to do something else for their business, for their company? When you think about what the outcome will be or what you want to get for your clients when they work with you, what does that timeline look like? Is there a dedicated timeline for that? And are you able to speak clearly and transparently about that timeline and the results that they should or could potentially see along the way? I know these all sound super specific, and it somewhat seems like, yeah, okay, well, I would know that. But what I want you to do is really start practicing. Write these things down and start practicing and just simply role playing with yourself. For example, if someone said, well, how long is it going to take for you to get me those results? What is it that you're going to say? Because if you guarantee someone results during a set time, you best make sure that you're meeting those. However, if you are prepared for a question like that, you could say something like, you know what, our results come at all different phases throughout our training program. If you commit to following all the instructions and dedicating the time and investing in this course, then the potential is this. So you're giving them a very specific, like, this is on you to make sure that you're providing us the materials. If it's social media management, I need your graphics, I need your content, I need your whatever it is that you need from them. If they're 2 weeks late all the time, of course, that's going to push back what you had strategized and what your plan of attack was. So never guarantee that you will have specific results for someone, but more so practice what that conversation will be, how you'll respond to it, and how you will pivot into the next set of questions or conversations that you want to have with that client. Okay, what specific results have you helped your ideal client achieve in the past? So again, I go back to storytelling, examples, specific instances that you've had these desired outcomes and what that person felt like, because you want your ideal client that you're speaking to or on that sales call to feel how it will feel once they work with you and start getting the same results. It is crucial that you take note of this and have some specific examples jotted down. I have this vault, I call, of specific examples and wins. I also have opportunities that were in there as well, because I think it's important that you're realistic, right? It's okay to give a specific example that isn't necessarily the most upbeat, most positive experience ever, because that's going to show them that you are a real person and that you too have some opportunities and how you overcome those opportunities. That's the key point there, how you overcome the opportunity. So start thinking about that. Just to recap, we want to go over how our client, our ideal client, is going to feel once they work with us. We also want to have some stories and examples, specific examples that we've used in the past or that we've gone through in the past. And then we also want to know what our client, what our potential client has tried in the past, what has worked, what has not worked, and done some research, do some research on that as well, so that we are going into these conversations fully prepared for what is to come. Okay, so that's it for this session. Our next session is our last one on ideal client, and that is going to be all about how we deliver our product or service to our ideal client. So stay tuned.